Alright guys, quite a while ago somebody asked me to show them how the winch works on the 5 tons, on the wreckers. So today's your lucky day, because I've got the wrecker stuck again. I tried to pull it out with the deuce and it ended up just sinking more. So I got to try to get this winch to work. I haven't used it in years. And last time I used it, the guy that was guiding the cable let the cable get bound up on the drum. So I got to get that apart. Anyway, let's step out and show you what I got here. So, yeah. Trying to get this turd out of here. Because I finally got dude to at least tell me he was going to come get this thing. I doubt he'll actually show up tomorrow, but so I come back here to try to get it out, and this happens. So I got to get the cable off. See, it's like bound up and shit. So I've got it hooked to the deuce. And what I need to do is I need to get that clutch lever to flip that way. A lot of times they just don't want to move. So I've got to get the drum to move a little bit, and then see it says on the cable, in is this way, out is that way. So to pre-spool, I need to get it to go that way, but it won't move. So I've got to release. The drum lock is already released. If it's like that, you don't want to move the drum, or it'll break the drum lock. So make sure your drum lock is released. Alright, so here's the thing. With a 5-ton, 939 series anyway, you cannot winch with the truck in gear. They won't go, you cannot winch and drive at the same time. It sucks. It's shitty that they did it that way, but I'm sure there was a reason, and it was probably to use cheaper components and save money. That, you know how it goes. So with the truck running in neutral, you'll find that you cannot engage the PTO for the winch. Watch and see. This damn sun, man. Hear that? So you can't do that. So what you got to do is depress the brake, put the truck in gear, then put your PTO in gear. You kind of got to do it at the same time. Just like that. And then put the truck back in neutral. And then you've got wind and unwind. So we want to unwind. Oh, nice. It's like locked up. That's wonderful. Man, you know, I swear. Yeah, the cable is seized. Damn it. Oh, this is stupid. Like, really? Okay, it sounded like something was happening there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's doing shit. handle ain't moving. That chain would have dropped to the ground if it was moving at all by now. Let me see. Maybe it wasn't all the way engaged. I don't know. See, these things are such a pain in the ass to use. Even the hydraulics, man. Yeah. I don't know if you can see out there, probably not. But it definitely isn't doing nothing. So, wonderful. You always find out your winch doesn't work when you get stuck. And in your backyard of all places. Later, guys. I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. I don't know. I'm kind of screwed, so later. Alright, so I think the winch control valve is actually what seized up the little plunger on the outside, not the cable necessarily. So back, got some coil, screwdriver, and some vice grips. See if we can't get some love. But just look at I mean, the damn 5 tons are so heavy. You find the slightest little bit of soft ground and down they go. And it doesn't help that this truck doesn't have a front drive shaft in it. So the slip joint was worn out. I took it out years ago and I just never got a replacement. In fact, it's still like laying in the front yard somewhere. So never done anything with it. So, oh, we gotta crawl under here, which I'm not a huge fan of doing this. Nearly 40,000 pound vehicle sitting on soft ground, getting underneath it, but whatever. Everybody's got their time, I guess. So, this is the winch control valve, the front winch control valve. And you got your supply and return lines from the main hydraulic. This is the pump. You follow your drive shaft up. The PTO is right up there on the side of the transmission. This is your control cable coming down. The one I was yanking on, it didn't seem like it wanted to move. So I think what happened, because they put it right down here where it collects mud, is I think it may be seized here. There's a little bit of surface rust and some dirt. So I'm just gonna see, put some oil on it. Well, you know what, I want to make sure there's no big chunks of dirt on it. Yeah. So you'd think they'd like put it in a better place where it didn't like collect every bit of road dirt and grime and everything, but oh no, lowest bidder. So, ooh, poked in the back by shit. So let's put some oil on that and see if we can't make it. Okay. Cool. Seems to move. Don't know about in and out action because there's really no way to get leverage on it, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like it should be free. So I cannot imagine that it would have been that easy to break loose if it was seized there. Maybe there's something inside the control tower. I'm just thinking to myself. Goodness. Guys, this is stupid. If he'd come got that truck any time over the past couple of years when he was supposed to have the past dozen frickin' times, I wouldn't be doing this right now. Alright, PTO still in. Let's see. Yeah, alright. That's all it was. Wow, cool. Alright, so I've got to get that cable pulled off that drum. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, it does not involve this truck. So let's get it out of the way. Ah. Never jerk on your engine stop handle. Doesn't take much to pull it. It takes a lot to pull it. You need to lubricate it or replace it. Okay, I'm gonna use the Dodge. I gotta find my keys. I think they're in here. I don't wear them on my side when I'm working because getting in and out of vehicles, they get caught on stuff, and I've broken keys like that before. So let's see. El Dajo. You gotta have a vehicle with an automatic transmission to do this, if you're doing it by yourself. It's always nice to have two people, but I never do. So, or, well, I hardly ever do anymore anyway. Really? Oh goodness. Come on. You give me oil pressure and I'll move you. There we go. I better turn that down, I'll get demonetized. Oh, let's not back into anybody's anything, especially mine. Oh, Kermans. You notice a common theme here, how like people just leave their shit at my place. Like, I tell people, yeah, you can bring it here, whatever. I don't want it here forever, and then comes here and then it stays here forever. I know Chris will get that red and white one out of here eventually, but I'm not doing this shit anymore. From now on, I'm just not doing it. had enough. And you watch, I'll end up parking right on the winch cable because I can't see it where the end is. Ah, I didn't. Cool. So, that's all you do. Leave it in gear. It's better if you put the transfer case on the pulling vehicle in low range. But you can see it's not totally necessary. And I leave the door open, so if by some disastrous miracle the chain were to come off, I can run after it and maybe catch the vehicle instead of it running into the woods over there or wherever, you know, it happens to be headed. So, man, I'm glad this is working. Like, I might actually be able to get this truck out of here today. Oh no. I think the truck's starting to run out of fuel, the wrecker. It's kind of making some funny, like, vibrations. You probably can't tell it, but I only keep like 1/8 of a tank in it most of the time, so if somebody steals it, they won't go far. And sitting at this angle, the fuel is probably away from the pickup tube. Awesome fuel caps from our sponsors over at Big Mike's. Oh yeah, that's like almost empty, I think. And I don't have my flashlight. Yeah, about to run out of fuel. Awesome. Alright, well, fuck it. So, you got that. Obviously, you pull the lever back to wind it in. Once again, you can't do it with the truck in gear. It has to be in neutral. So, just FYI, I gotta kind of like, I've shown you enough. You ought to be able to operate your winch now. Hopefully yours will be in better repair than mine, especially if it comes to when you actually need it. So, we get off here now, try to get this damn thing out of this hole. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the aftermath of getting the wrecker stuck. So, we got here is where I had another deuce pulling on it, and it's kind of soft here too, but not as bad. I had almost got the deuce stuck here. It went down far enough without me noticing that I had to rock it out And then I moved over here to some harder dirt. Back here's where the wrecker was. And you see, this is not mud, right? This is, I mean, the ground is a little moist, but it's not like, it's not slop. There's no water in it, even the next day. So this is where the differentials, the rear diffs were sitting. So, you know, once your differential touches the ground, you're pretty much done. But, I mean, that's almost 2 foot, if not 2 feet down. So, just, it's not that everything is super sloppy here or anything. It's just that when you have the least little bit of moisture in the ground and you drive a nearly 40,000 pound truck on it, this is what happens. And I've stuck this wrecker a few times, not here, but I stuck it just to the right of that stump actually once. I've stuck it back there in the corner once. In fact, the chain is still wrapped around the base of the tree there where I used the front winch to help get it out, but had to pull on it with another 5-ton at the same time. So it's the wreckers, you know, the front winch is 20,000 pound rated hydraulic. I don't really think they even pull that much, but when you've got it on a 40,000 pound truck, even with a snatch block, you're right there at capacity, which doesn't give you the extra pulling power you need to actually get out of anything. So you really, if you're going to use the front winch on a wrecker and expect it to get itself out, you got to have 2 snatch blocks at least. So, and still, I managed to, I got Erica to run the winch, sit in the cab, and pull on the winch control handle to wind it in while I pulled on it with the other deuce after she got home. And eventually it got out, but still, I just winched to that stump. See, the snatch block's still laying there. But it still couldn't keep the cable from rolling up on one side and binding up on the drum and making it leak. So that's I mean, if it's equipped with a level wind, you'll probably have a little better luck, but just the standard front 20,000 pound Garwood winches with no cable guide, they always do that. Just like the 10,000 pound Garwoods on the front of the deuces, they always want to roll the cable up on one side, just right there on the side of either side of the drum, depending on which way you're pulling, and it always separates the damn case. And it's not like you can sit there and guide the cable on by hand, because when you get 20, 30, 40,000 pounds of force on it, you're not going to be able to move that cable over to the next wrap on the drum. It does what it wants. So it is what it is, you know. It's stupid. It's a shitty design, but they were cheap, right? That's why they're on. So let me see, I'll show you. So I've just got the puddle of oil. Just got the cable wrapped around the bumper, and I hate this. I hate when I see other people do this. I understand why it's done, but it just bothers me because it ain't right. But basically, this is what happens. The cable, it wants to pile up on one side, and then it gets between the cable guide and the drum, and it just stacks up on itself. And then what it does is it'll run that nut back off, and then it pushes the drum apart, and it leaks oil out of there, because the drum to case lip seals in there are only, I mean, they might allow you 1/8 of an inch, probably more like a 1/16 of an inch of sealing surface. So they move just a little bit and then they leak. That's not broken, and I may be able to somehow get that cable pulled back off of there. I'd have to have somebody help me again and run this out when I'm pulling on it with another vehicle. But maybe if I did that and I can tighten that bottom spanner up again and get it to stop leaking. I don't know. Usually that doesn't work, so we'll see. I mean, every time I use this front winch, the cable gets bound up because it's not, you know, I can't do it myself, and I don't have anything to assist where, you know, guiding where the cable goes. I don't have a level wind on it. Never did. This truck came like this. I am the first and only owner outside of the surplus. I picked it up off Fort Polk and drove it home. So it never, I know it didn't come with a level wind because it didn't have one. And it should have. And I don't want to spend the $1,000 or whatever people want for the level winds to put on it. Because, I mean, I've used this winch 4 times in the 5 or 6 years I've had this thing. So, and that's the first time I've actually made the winch leak. So, anyway, just ranting. Wanted to show you how it all turned out, what happened. As you saw, I got the red truck out of there. So, I actually was able to back up just a few feet over after I moved it, picked it up and turned the front while I was stuck, just to reposition it for later. So, like 10 feet to the side of that, if that, and it didn't go down. I think that spot, there used to be a garden there from the previous owner, because there was like some T-posts that had some hog panel on it for peas to grow up on and stuff. And there were a couple of little, some kind of decorative fruit trees or something. I've since gotten all that cleaned out, cut down. There was some PVC pipe there. And that's the only spot where it's soft, and it's like a rectangle. And if you look carefully, sometimes after it rains and it's been dry for a while, it's a big rectangle spot that gets greener than the rest of it. So I don't know if you can really see it right now, but see how there's this line here and this line that goes up that way, and it kind of comes across. So yeah, there was a garden there at some point, I'm pretty sure. I mean, why else would you plumb a faucet in right there when there wasn't a house or anything out here when we bought the place. Never had been. It was just the shop, and the shop doesn't have water inside of it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Check out all our links in the description below if you would, please. We'd appreciate it. And catch you later.